Oh, hey, how you doing? Scott Hennon here. Just wrapped up the old Chrome microphone of common sense work of the day. It's not exactly Chrome anymore, is it? Used to be Chrome. Now it has a new sleeker black look, one of the new ones. Anyway, it's still the Chrome microphone of common sense as far as I'm concerned here. Ladies and gentlemen, day in and day out on the Common Sense Club and the Scott Hennon Show. A little recap on what we did today. We kicked off first day of that book right there, Grassroots Common Sense Action Agenda for America. And it was a whole lot of fun to be able to say, okay, it's out. We've been talking forever about it's coming. Today it was out. Today was the first day. And we actually took you inside what it's like to be an author of a book today in the sense of a couple of media interviews that happened, one of which I did early this morning with the folks from America's Morning News, but we replayed that today. But we did a live interview on the show. Actually, I have a live one tonight as well with Lars Larson on his national show. But I'm really looking forward to a lot of these interviews and sharing with our audience what it's like to be an author, because I'm only an author because of you. And I actually read from the book today on the show and said, I want to tell you how I dedicated this book. And I dedicated this book to folks that I care a great deal about. And that's you, our listeners. Let me start. I said, to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, to whom I owe everything. And that's first and foremost. I don't think we do enough acknowledging our faith in this country, and I wanted to with this book, because truly I owe everything to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Just like this morning, the phone rings right there. Isn't that just amazing? Anyway, to my wife, Maria, who's calling, actually, and wondering, where are you? Right there. Yes, let me answer the phone. Hi, dear.
Hi.
How are you, hon?
Good. What are you doing?
Coincidentally, I was just talking about my wife Maria, the love of my life, who I've dedicated the book to for the post-show video. So I'm doing that right now. Then I'm about to get in the car and come see you and have dinner before I have to do Lars Larson at 6:30.
Oh, are you going to do an interview?
I am at 6:30.
A phone one?
Yes,
All right.
little phone interview that we'll play tomorrow on the show. So I'll call you right back. Okay, how about that?
Okay, bye.
I'll finish this, call you back. When your wife calls, answer the phone. Good idea. So there's Maria. I'm putting this on silence, which I generally do. But after the show, I turn it back on. Sometimes before the show, it's not on yet. It's a very long story. You don't need to hear all that. How did I dedicate the book? To the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, to whom I owe everything. To my wife, Maria, the love of my life, and she is. To the three of the best kids on the planet, Alex, Hannah, and Haley. And to the faithful members of the Common Sense Club, my listeners who put me on this incredible journey. There it is. That's who I celebrate on the show. We talked to some of them today on the program. A guy by the name of Larry called in, all frustrated. Republicans don't listen. What's the use? Eric called in and said, hey, you know what? This is worthless. You know what? Attitudes like that means everything we stand for goes by the wayside. Thankfully, we had a guy call from Park River. His name was Bob. He said, I'm doing a Patriots in the Park event on Thursday. Scott, I've invited you. I'm inviting everybody within the sound of our voice. Come make a difference. That's the kind of passion that's going to make a difference. That's why I wrote the book. And it was fun to kick it off today on the program and get inside what it's like to write a book. We had the live Lars Larson interview for his local show in Portland, Oregon, and that we covered on the air today. It was kind of fun. We also, by the way, talked to James Herson about the CSI effect. James Herson's a guy you read at Newsmax.com. He's a lawyer and law professor and trial attorney and legal analyst. And, you know, the Casey Anthony trial, that's a travesty. It really is. Although I must say our audience is so fabulous. Joe wrote in, Scott, I don't think there should be any outrage over the verdict. Casey Anthony's a scumbag. She probably did murder that child. However, that's not the issue here. The issue here is whether the prosecution was able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she did. Unfortunately, they were unable to. The prosecution's case relied solely on circumstantial evidence. They had almost no direct evidence. CSI effect. See, that's what the jury was looking for. And so he's saying, unfortunately, when a jury is left only to base their decision on circumstantial evidence, there's too much room left to create the necessary reasonable doubt, which, if created, a jury necessarily must find the defendant to be not guilty. Yes, it's a hard standard to overcome, but it is inherent in our Constitution because we place such a high value on a person's life and liberty. Truthfully, if the prosecution had tried to charge her with a lesser crime than first-degree murder, they might have been successful. Casey Anthony is a scumbag, a bad mother, and probably a murderer. But Casey went on to say, unfortunately, the system let us down. interesting take. A lot of it on our Facebook feedback. I'd love for you to go there and check that out as well. Also talked to Tony Sutton, chairman of the Republican Party in Minnesota, for an update on the outrage of the shutdown for political reasons. That's what's going on. Tony talked to us about that as well. And we'll do it all over again tomorrow, 2 until 5 on the Common Sense Club and the Scotty Dunn Show. By the way, Gary Eminoff was on, and if you didn't get a chance to hear that, I'd encourage you to check that out too at ScottyHannon.com. We actually have a video podcast of that particular interview up, because they are cranking up the Tea Party caucus, kicking off statewide meetings. The first one is in Grand Forks on Thursday. That's right. So next week we're going to be book signings. Monday, Fargo, Barnes & Noble. Tuesday we'll be at the Patriots in the Park and Park River with the book. Then Thursday we have Ferguson Books and Media, right? Yeah. So a lot going on next week. And then, of course, this week it's the Tea Party Patriots, the Tea Party caucus kickoff in Grand Forks. First of several meetings around the state. Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m., Townhouse, which is now the Guest House International in downtown Grand Forks. I'll be there. I'd encourage you to be there as well. Should be a great event. That's 6 to 8 p.m. Thursday, Guest House International, downtown Grand Forks this week. Then next week, Monday, Fargo, Barnes & Noble for the signing. Wednesday. What day is the Patriots in the Park? Oh, you need to know that, don't you? Let me look at my trusty little calendar here, and I'll tell you just exactly when it is, so you have it. Yeah, is it up there? I have to be able to run my calendar. It's Tuesday the 12th. So Monday, Barnes & Noble, Fargo. Tuesday the 12th, we'll be at the Tea Party, Patriots in the Park event, 5 p.m., Park River. Take Wednesday for a little bit of a breather. Thursday, Ferguson Books and Media next to the Menards in the strip mall there as well for a book signing. So lots of time to tell you all about that. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great day. And we'll see you tomorrow, 2 to 5 in the Common Sense Club.